Alright, so hello everyone again. Today we're going to be going over a scout loadout this time. So to quickly start it off, we have Comtac 2s as our headsets. Like I said in the last video, I highly recommend that you purchase all of these and just test them out individually. Everyone has a preference to what headset sounds best, or good at the very least. So if you want just like a general ballpark, avoid the SSHs, but everything else is kind of more or less in line with each other. So you could just choose from any one of these 8 and you'll probably be fine. Moving on to your helmet, I did not put on a helmet, and the reason why is because if I put on a helmet, let's say the cheapest one that I can get right now for the rating is the Neosteel. As you can see over here, it goes over my armor threshold, so I cannot put on a helmet, otherwise I can't run this class. Now that's not to say that you can't make it happen. Probably if you want to do that, you should put on a cheap plate carrier like the HPC, and then now you see that the armor rating is all the way down below, and then now what you could do is you could put on a nice helmet and you'll be under that threshold. But for my purposes, or for this loadout's purposes I should say, we're going to stick with helmetless. The reason why I went with helmetless is because I don't really think that it's that necessary. And what I mean by this is that if you can put on the level 3 helmet, that would be very nice. At the very least, it would sometimes turn a one-shot headshot into a two-shot. I'm not saying that the helmet is completely useless, like you shouldn't run it. If you can, you should run one, but I think that for the most part, I do get hit more in the thorax, and I'll go over this more in depth when I go over your body armor. But for now, just keep that in the back of your mind. If you really want to, or if you really think that it's worth it, you can run a helmet. You just have to swap out your armor with something that's a little bit cheaper. Drip wise, I chose a ghost mask. Well, all the drip is really very cheap rating wise, so if you want, you could put on whatever you want. Now moving on to your actual armor, I chose the Trooper. You will have to purchase this. It's not unlocked by default, but I think it is worth it because it's the only armor given to you as a scout that provides level 3 soft armor and lets you put in plates on top of that. And why I said before is that it's better than the HPC and I prefer it over an HPC and a helmet is because a lot of the time you do get hit in the thorax. If you get hit in the head, it's usually game over anyways, since a lot of people have these really high penetration ammo. But like I said before, sometimes in a blue moon, your high ricochet level 3 helmet might deflect or stop one of those bullets, but it's not that often, so that's why I chose to just forgo the helmet. Now the Trooper is a lot more worth it compared to just a strictly plate carrier, is because this Trooper, as you can see, lets you put in level 4 plates, and it gives you level 3 soft under armor. None of these other armors do that, and also none of these armored rigs do that either. The highest it goes is level 2. Now if we go into the actual armor builder, you are given Noosphere Tech plates by default. These are the plates that you're given from the start. I highly recommend buying the Kiba Arms Titan Ballistic plates to put into your armor because it's higher durability, and the material that it's made out of, which is, for its namesake, Titan, has a better destructibility value than the Noosphere Tech, which is made of ceramic. So better total hit points and better material destructibility. And like I said before, backplate is also the Kiba Arms for the same reasons as the front plate. Now your primary is the SA58. If you do want a longer barreled version, you're gonna have to use the SA58 for a little bit and get it to level 7. And then once you get it to level 7, you have to go to the armory, as I just showed, and you will have to receive it. So I already accepted it, but there should be like, once you reach level 7, there should be this button here that says receive. You click it, and then now you get a 21-inch barrel that you could put on your gun. You don't need it. Like, I think it's perfectly fine, the short barreled version the way it is and how I've modded it currently, but if you do want that extra recoil reduction, you will have to get it to level 7 at the very least. The ergo is pretty good for an SA58, 51.5, so it's not going to take forever to aim down your sights. 90 vertical recoil, 217 horizontal recoil. So the recoil is a little bit jumpy. It's not horrifically bad, but it's also not very easy to land consistent shots. So if that's the case and you find that it's a little hard to control, what I recommend you do is that try to get the SA58 to level 7. And then once you get it to level 7, you go to your armory, you could get the SA58 21-inch barrel. That way you should be able to control it more easily afterwards. Moving on to our ammunition, I have 3 30-round mags and one 8 out of 10 10-round mag, and they're all filled with M62s. You could probably min-max and then put in like a bunch of really good ammunition, top load a bunch of really good ammunition, and just bottom load BCPs, but I don't really want to do that kind of tedious stuff, so if you want to, that option is definitely there. Just to go over the ammunition itself, M62s are 44 penetration, 79 flesh. As you can see on the penetration section, it still kind of struggles to penetrate 5 and 6. So it really should be used as a headhunter. So what I mean by that is that you should be aiming for headshots because most people have level 4 and under helmets. So you'll have a much better chance at killing someone quickly through the head instead of trying to go through their much tougher body armor. That's also probably layered as well. And last but not least, your healing. The HF1 injector, as you probably know from the last loadout review, this thing is really good because it stops your bleeding and it prevents more bleeding from happening for the next 60 seconds. And the good thing about this too is that once the thing runs out, like you don't suddenly start spurting bleeds everywhere. It's basically a clean slate from when it's finished. Usually I would recommend a morphine injector or some kind of painkillers in the case that you start hobbling and you can't really move around well anymore. But in this case, you can't really afford it. You might be able to take out something like this extra mag to put in a morphine injector or something like that. But since you don't really need it, I decided to forgo it this time. The AI2, of course, is just for that emergency healing when you need to top off your head or your thorax so you don't get one shot when you get hit again there. And last but not least, we don't really need anything expensive for our tactical rig. So I just went with a really cheap bank robber to just store our magazines, and that's basically it. So that's the scout subclass that I've been running. It's not really a low investment starter subclass, but it is one that I've been recently enjoying very well, and I just kind of want to share it with everyone else. So thanks for listening. Tell me what you guys think about this subclass. If you need any recommendations or help, make sure to put it in the comments down below. Thanks again for listening. Take care, everyone.
порядке. Обязан.